Now let's take a look at the cash management module. So cash management as an overview, and then we're going to take a look at your configuration for this module. So your cash management module contains your accounts. So your credit card accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts. We will have videos on how to set these up. There is a whole section on credit cards because in Intacct, we use credit card transactions. So all of your credit card transactions are going to go into this credit card transactions section. And then you create a payoff for your credit card transactions. So you'll select them in bulk and do a payoff for them. And your payoff gets pushed over to AP. So it might be slightly different to what you're used to doing, but that's how it's done in Intacct. And there is an entire section on credit cards further on in the process. So transactions wise, then you can do, deposits, funds transfers, manual payments, other receipts, transactions you're probably used to doing within your accounting system, your accounting software. And we do have workflow classes, which will go through exactly how to create all of these transactions. And they are at the point when you have your implementation instance so that you can test until your heart's content and it's not going to affect your live or production instance. Your bank reconciliations are done within the cash management modules. If you set your bank accounts up at entity level, you'll be doing your reconciliations at entity level. If you set them up at top level, you'll be doing your reconciliations at top level. You have your payment files here. So for sending out to the bank to process ACH, you're going to get those payment files from your cash management. You can close and reopen your subledger here if you want to do that before you close GL. That's absolutely possible. Within each module, you have a reports section over to the right. So these are like your out-of-the-box reports that cannot be edited. And then you have your memorized reports, stored reports that will appear here as well. On your setup tab, then you have your accounts appear again here, your reconciliation rules. So these are matching and creation rules that you would set up, which help to streamline your reconciliation process. So when you're feeding in transactions from your bank accounts directly, or if you're importing transactions, you can set up matching rules. And if you're doing bank feeds, you can also do creation rules, which will create GL transactions in the system based off the rules that you set up. We do have videos on these specific rules. So then we also have our configuration section here, and we're going to dive into that now. So this is pretty short. It's a nice handy one for your transaction summary posting. You want it to be daily. You're going to be posting to the CRJ, cash receipts journal. If posting transactions to a future period, we want to show a warning. And here on your default undeposited funds account, most people will be familiar with undeposited funds. So let's say you receive payments in the system for a particular customer, and then you get a bunch of checks. And then at the end of the week, you go to the bank and you deposit them. So undeposited funds is a way to put those payments into the system, leave them in undeposited funds, and then you deposit them to the bank in a separate transaction in a batch. So you are maybe used to using undeposited funds. We see a lot of clients that do. There are definitely some clients that go directly to the bank account, which is totally fine. But if you are using undeposited funds, you're going to want to have an undeposited funds GL account set up in the system for that. And if you don't have one in, you could add one on the fly right here by clicking the add button. It'll bring up your general ledger accounts. But it's totally fine if you don't want to use that. Some people go directly to the bank account. But undeposited funds is just like a holding space for all of your payments until they actually get deposited into the bank in a batch transaction. So you can select a default bank account for cash management. And this can be done at the entity level if you have multiple entities and you have a specific bank account for entities. You also do not have to choose a default bank account. And if you do choose a default bank account, it can be overridden when you're doing your transactions as well. If you want to enable user entity restrictions for bank and credit card accounts, I would suggest clicking on the help and support, help on this page, and getting more information on that particular section. So it'd be down here somewhere. So restricting top level users on viewing reconciliation information for a bank or credit card account based on their entity location restrictions might be something that you wanted to turn on. And then for your dimension display, you're absolutely going to want to make sure everything is turned on here. It doesn't mean that you have to code these dimensions. It just gives you the option to code them. And you're going to want to turn on these dimensions in every configuration because you're just going to want to have the option to do that. You can always move around your entry screen so that you only see the ones that you code to mainly. But yes, you want to have all of those on. So if you made any changes there, you're going to want to click save. And that's it for configuration for cash management. It's a nice quick one, but there are some more videos in this section which go through your checking accounts and different things. So stay tuned for that.